Could The Addams Family, the 1991 film, be considered among the very best, the all-time greatest TV shows turned movies? Not that there's that much competition, but I think you can make a strong case for it. Not only is the movie just really entertaining and great, and I love it, but even considering there is, of course, the classic TV series from the 60s, there was a very popular cartoon adapted too, made for TV movie, a kind of new revival series in the late 90s, a Broadway musical just in recent years adapted from it. When you ask somebody, hey, what do you think of the Addams Family? More often than not, I think people will think about the movie, the 1991 movie, and the sequel, too. Because that's kind of what the Addams Family is to a lot of people. And to me included. I mean, that's just kind of, for whatever reason, the definitive version. So I think that says a lot of this movie. This is the 1991 film from Barry Sonnenfeld. I have a VHS here. I do have it on DVD too. Like I have the double pack of Addams Family Values too. I think it's on Blu-ray, but I haven't gotten around to that. I wanted to show this real quick just because it's kind of like an interesting relic. Because this VHS here has the interesting McDonald's seal of approval, if you can see that. I guess like back in the day, McDonald's had a deal with, I guess, Paramount home video, where you buy some McDonald's crap and you get a deal and they give you a movie or something like that. So I don't know, maybe there's a Wikipedia article you can look up that maybe I can link below, but that was like a weird thing back then. I know Pizza Hut had it too, but whatever. I just thought that was interesting. So this is my VHS. The movie itself, I mean, I love it. It's so entertaining, so funny, and just so bizarre and kind of right in tune with my tastes. Really is kind of anchored by three very important lead performances. In the key roles, of course, I mean the biggest star of this movie, like the biggest name, was Angelica Houston. I mean, she was really the only huge movie star attached to the movie, and you wouldn't like normally first, knee-jerk reaction think Angelica Houston, yeah, she should be Morticia Addams in a movie, but she is so perfect in the role because I mean, just in her own natural way, she does have this like kind of seductress kind of attitude about her that's very sexual and very, kind of entrancing. But at the same time, she does have a weird kind of darkness to her, which is hard to describe too. Like you can tell like something behind her eyes, there's something really crazy and morbid. So she's absolutely perfect, and she's just the definitive Morticia Addams in the movie. And seeing her in that pale get up and the tight dress, and whoever lit her in these movies, just a genius. Like you can see kind of her eyes are a little bit more intensely than anywhere else. So I thought that was a great touch in the movie. So she's great. And we do also have I'd say pretty underrated in his role is Christopher Lloyd playing Uncle Fester. And maybe it's just because he is, I guess in the most general possible way, more considered to be a character actor. He's always hidden behind either elaborate makeup or fright wig or something like that, but he is so good playing Uncle Fester. You can hardly tell it's him, really. I mean, if I didn't know who Christopher Lloyd was, I mean, I'd say they pulled this guy from some very creepy corner of the world and got him to be in the movie. So that's how good he is. He just seems like right in place with the role. And there is Raul Julia as Gomez Addams, who he's just great. I mean, Gomez Addams in particular, there's been just so many different interpretations of him. Like you have the classic John Astin, brilliant as Gomez Addams. And even Tim Curry played him, Glenn Torano in the revival series, Nathan Lane even played him, but I think Raul Julia has to be the absolute best. He is just this, he's like a cartoon character come to life in this role, so full of this energy and madness and just delight at everything that he's so great. I do think it's, probably his best role. Unfortunately, we lost him too soon. He passed shortly after the second movie, I think. But he is just incredible. So we have these three main characters in the movie, and of course we have, a good supporting cast too. Dan Hedaya is in the movie. Uh, and Christina Ricci playing Wednesday Addams, another kind of perfect casting of Wednesday Addams. But it's really anchored by these performances, and we really do kind of believe that they inhabit this crazy, crazy world that they live in, and crazy is the key word because this is just an incredibly gothic type of movie. Of course, it's a great looking movie too. If you're the kind of person who if you really get into, if you really love kind of the set design, art decoration, costumes of movies. This is pornography. This is just the best. This movie is just so great visually. It's almost like a Tim Burton movie if he had restraint. Just this great gothic look to it that I love. And ultimately, when we go watch a movie, we like a good story and everything like that. But film is a visual medium. More than anything else, and we have to have something interesting to look at, which I think this movie delivers in spades. The story, not so much. Maybe that's probably the weakest thing about the movie. The acting's great, has funny moments, great art, set decoration, all that good stuff. But the plot is crazy and stupid. But you almost don't care because you're having so much fun. It's this whole kind of busy plot about Uncle Fester has been lost. In this version, I know in the TV show Uncle Fester was Morticia's uncle, but in this version he's the uncle to the kids, so he's Gomez's brother. So he's been lost in the Bermuda Triangle for all this time. Apparently he's come back after a Dr. Greta or whoever, Schlossenheimer or whatever the fuck she's called. She finds him, bring him back, but guess what? It's just this horrible plot to get their booty, basically, the Addams Family treasure or whatever the fuck. So he's really this guy named Gordon, who we first see him. He's kind of this mama's boy living with the mom who kind of fakes to be this doctor who finds him, and the Addams Family lawyer is kind of caught up in behind funds, and so he kind of hatches this scheme to say, hey, we'll get this, and hey, you look like him, and we'll do this thing, and it's just weird. The whole plot is so needlessly complicated. And the weirdest thing of the movie is that it does end up turning out that this Gordon guy, he really is Uncle Fester. So he lost his memory in the Bermuda Triangle. See, it's just so convoluted and fucked up. I can barely keep track of the plot of this movie, and I still don't really know what the plan was. So did this lady who found Uncle Fester, did she know that he was Uncle Fester? She must not have known, but was it her plan all along to kind of become in cahoots with the Addams Family lawyer who would ultimately need money and ultimately have to hatch a scheme? Or is it all just a kind of a crazy coincidence? I don't know, but they have a hard time kind of getting that across. Once the movie's finally ending, in the very last scene of the movie, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Uncle Fester is really Uncle Fester, and a bolt of lightning made his memory come back. Thank God. And it's pretty funny too, because it seems like it must have been a reshoot or an ADR line or something like that. Something seems off where they're like, I don't think we quite got across to the audience what's going on here. I still don't get it, to be honest. But it's really Uncle Fester, I think. I don't know. But anyway, acting is really good. Really fun movie. Fun set pieces. Fun adventure in the movie. The Addams Family house, the mansion, whatever you want to call it. It's like a world within its own. It's like this endless labyrinth of every turn. Something crazy happens, and we get to see a lot of the Addams Family members too, the extended family, and that big party scene with babushka, very fun scene, and it's just proof that you can really make a modern version of something a little older, in this case the 60s TV show, and really really kind of make it work with kind of a higher budget. And think about Thing, the hand on the TV show, it was just a hand that came out of the box, and it was things like that. Here it's this full just hand, this hand that kind of runs around all the place, and it's so great. Like one of my favorite parts of the movie is like when they're falling on hard times, and Thing, he gets a job at like Federal Express, and he's like running around with his little wagon and like throwing all the packages everywhere. I thought that was a great scene. And yeah, I mean, just everything I think is just so wonderful about this movie. Such a morbid sense of humor, such little amazing sight gags and things like that. Again, a great cast. I can't commend the cast highly enough. So it's a great movie. I love it, and it's kind of perfect for like the Halloween time because it is not every Halloween themed movie has to be like crazy killer, serial murderer, ghosts, whatever. It can just be kind of spooky and weird, like the Addams Family, like no one else can be. So yeah, I gotta say, one of my favorites. This is just a great movie. What can I tell you? And I do think it is kind of like the definitive version of the Addams Family characters for whatever reason. Again, we have the TV show, the cartoon, and I think in its original form, it was like a comic strip, like a Saturday edition newspaper comic strip or something like Garfield or something like that. I don't know, but this is where it's at when it comes to the Addams Family. So if you haven't seen the Addams Family, you gotta check it out. This is like essential viewing for anybody who likes something a little morbid and crazy and kooky. So that's my review. 31 Days of Horror 2016, still going. So keep on watching. More reviews to come all this month in October. That's it. Thanks for watching. Da-na-na-na. 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 Da-na-na-na.